Today's Epistle Lesson is from 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verses 18 through 25. For the message of the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing, but to us who are being saved it is the power of God. For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, and the discernment of the discerning I will thwart. Where is the one who is wise? Where is the scribe? Where is the debater of this age? Has not God made foolish the wisdom of the world? For since in the wisdom of God, the world did not know God through wisdom, God decided through the foolishness of our proclamation to save those who believe. For Jews demand signs and Greeks desire wisdom, but we proclaim Christ crucified, a stumbling block to Jews and foolishness to Gentiles. But to those who are called, both Jews and Greeks, Christ the power of God and the wisdom of God. For God's foolishness is wiser than human wisdom, and God's weakness is stronger than human strength. This is the word of God for the people of God.
Thanks be to God.
Paul says that the Greeks seek wisdom. And indeed, the Greeks are famous for their wisdom. In philosophy, they had Socrates and Plato, Aristotle, and many others. In math, Pythagoras and Euclid. In drama, Sophocles and Euripides. They were famous for their wisdom and their learning. And we see evidence of what Paul is talking about when he says the Greeks seek wisdom when we read about his experience in Athens. This is from Acts 17, 18 through 21. Also, some Epicurean and Stoic philosophers debated with him. Some said, "What does this babbler want to say?" Others said, "He seems to be a proclaimer of foreign divinities." This is because he was telling the good news about Jesus and the resurrection. So they took him and brought him to the Areopagus and asked him, "May we know what this new teaching is that you are presenting? It sounds rather strange to us, so we would like to know what it means." Now all the Athenians and the foreigners living there would spend their time in nothing but telling or hearing something new. Sounds like my days back in college. So Paul preaches, and he shows that his learning was not limited to the Hebrew Scriptures. He is able to quote Greek poetry and Greek philosophers to the Greeks to try to persuade them, because he knew that they did not recognize the authority of Jewish Scripture, so quoting the Bible to them wouldn't have meant very much. And so Paul did his best, but not much came. He had a few converts, but not even enough people to form a church. You know, everywhere else Paul went, Corinth and Philippi, Thessalonica, all these other cities, when he left, there was a church. When we left in Athens, there was no church. And I think that's why, it says when they, Acts 17:32, when they heard about the resurrection of the dead, some scoffed and others said, "We will hear you about this," but nothing came. I think that's why Paul says, in just a few verses after what we read today, he says this in 1 Corinthians 2, 1 through 2. "When I came to you, brothers and sisters, I did not come proclaiming the mystery of God to you in lofty words or wisdom. For I decided to know nothing among you except Jesus Christ and Him crucified." Now don't misunderstand, Paul was not anti-intellectual. He was proud of his learning, and he used his learning. But Athens showed him that you can't educate somebody into a relationship with Jesus Christ. You can't educate someone into surrendering their lives and proclaiming Jesus as Lord and Master. He learned that only by proclaiming the good news of the crucifixion and resurrection of Christ, of proclaiming the cross, was the only way to win someone to Christ. And what was true then is true now. And there are still modern day Greeks, and I'm not talking about their ethnic background, but modern people with the same attitude the Greeks have. They want us to prove what we say about Christ with learning and education and wisdom. This is from Bill Maher, kind of an obnoxious person. But his attitude speaks for many people in the world today. He said this: "I don't know how it all began. No one does. But I'm pretty sure it's not that God had a son. You know, he's this orb of perfect energy, this powerful beyond imagination. But he's got kids? That would drive him nuts, let me tell you. So you know we don't know the answers, but the answer to that is to not make up stories. If you don't know something, just say, I don't know. That's your gospel right there. The gospel of I don't know. I combined apathy and atheist, and I came up with apathist. I don't know what happens when I die, and I don't care." The Greeks seek wisdom. And then Paul says, and the Jews seek signs. And we heard that from what Margaret read a while ago. When Jesus cleared out the temple, the people there said, well, show us a sign to justify what you have just done. But that's not the only time that the people ask for a sign. This is from Matthew 12, 38 through 40. Then some of the scribes and Pharisees said to him, "Teacher, we wish to see a sign from you." But he answered them, "An evil and adulterous generation asks for a sign. But no sign will be given to it except the sign of the prophet Jonah. For just as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of the sea monster, so for 3 days and 3 nights the Son of Man will be in the heart of the earth." In other words, the only sign is his resurrection. But oddly enough, we are told many times that Jesus did do signs. Just one example, this is from John 2:11, when Jesus is at a wedding in Cana of Galilee, and he changes water into wine. And this is how the story is summed up. Jesus did this, the first of his signs in Cana of Galilee, and revealed his glory, and his disciples believed him. And maybe the key phrase there, and his disciples believed him. Because we see over and over that the performance of signs does not necessarily lead to faith. The Pharisees did not deny that Jesus was casting out demons. They accepted it. They had seen it with their own eyes. Their explanation was, well, he's doing it by the power of Beelzebub. Didn't make them believe in Jesus. When the Roman soldiers came and told the Jewish leaders what had happened at the tomb, that Christ had been raised from the dead, the Roman leaders didn't follow Christ, because that would have threatened their power. Instead, they gave the soldiers some money and said, if your superiors give you trouble, tell them to talk to us and we'll smooth it out, and tell everybody that the disciples stole his body. See, a lot of times we get it backwards. We think that we believe that Christ was the Messiah because he did signs. But biblically speaking, that's backwards. It's not that we believe he is the Christ because he did signs. We believe that he did signs because we believe he is the Christ. The signs are not the seed of faith, but the fruit of faith. signs are proof only if you have faith. And so, brothers and sisters in Christ, God invites us to this feast of foolishness, remembering that the foolishness of God is wiser than the wisdom of humans. We come to this table, to this feast of foolishness. We come to remember the cross, the crucifixion and resurrection of Christ, which is the power and wisdom of God. Thanks be to God.